Hello everyone, welcome to Level Up Quiz. Shall we solve the quiz today? Don't forget to subscribe, like, and set the alarm. Let's get started.
Economy. Level 1. What do we call a period of declining economic activity?
Recession.
What do we call a market situation where one seller dominates the market?
Monopoly.
What is the term for the total amount of money a government owes?
National debt.
What economic term describes a situation where prices continue to rise due to increased demand while supply cannot keep up?
Inflation.
What term describes the total value of all goods and services produced in a country in a year?
Gross domestic product. So far so good?
What is the measure of the average change over time in the prices paid by urban consumers for a market basket of consumer goods and services?
Consumer price index.
What type of market structure has many buyers and sellers, with identical products?
Perfect competition.
What term describes the division of labor and resources among individuals, households, and businesses?
Economic system.
What economic term describes a good that is non-rivalrous and non-excludable?
Public good.
What term describes the ease with which an asset or security can be converted into cash without affecting its market price?
Liquidity. Cheer up.
What economic term refers to the financial return made on an investment, often expressed as a percentage of the initial investment?
Return on investment.
What is the term for the income level below which a person or family is considered to be poor according to government standards?
Poverty line.
What economic term refers to the ability of an individual, company, or country to produce a good or service at a lower opportunity cost than others?
Comparative advantage.
What is the economic term for the loss of potential gain from other alternatives when one alternative is chosen?
Opportunity cost.
What term refers to the process of increasing the amount of money in circulation or lowering interest rates to stimulate economic growth?
Monetary policy. Keep going.
What is the term for the study of how individuals and societies allocate scarce resources to satisfy their unlimited wants?
Economics.
What economic term describes a situation where the quantity of a good or service supplied exceeds the quantity demanded at a specific price?
Surplus.
What is the term for a sustained, long-term downturn in economic activity in one or more economies?
Depression.
What economic term refers to the process of increasing the capacity of an economy to produce goods and services over time?
Economic growth.
What is the term for the total value of money and other assets, minus outstanding debts?
Net worth. Congratulations. Move on to level 2. Come on.
Economy. Level 2. What economic term refers to the rate at which the general level of prices for goods and services is rising?
Inflation rate.
What is the term for the total market value of all final goods and services produced within a country in a specific period of time?
Gross national product.
What is the term for the percentage of the labor force that is jobless and actively seeking employment?
Unemployment rate.
What economic term refers to the study of the behavior and decision-making of entire economies?
Macroeconomics.
What is the term for the portion of income that households do not spend on goods and services and instead save or invest?
Savings rate. So far so good?
What economic theory suggests that government spending and tax policies can influence economic activity?
Keynesian economics.
What term refers to the total stock of money circulating in the economy?
Money supply.
What economic term describes the difference between a country's total exports and total imports?
Trade balance.
What economic term describes a situation where the price of one good rises when the price of a related good falls?
Substitute goods.
What term refers to the process of reducing the value of a country's currency relative to others?
Currency depreciation. Cheer up.
What term describes the process of transferring property rights over an asset to another party for a specific period in exchange for a fee?
Lease.
What economic term describes a measure of the responsiveness of the quantity demanded or supplied of a good to changes in price?
Elasticity.
What economic term describes the total value of goods and services produced within a country's borders in a specific time period?
National income.
What economic term describes the money that a company owes to others?
Liabilities.
What term refers to a situation where there are too few resources to meet all human needs and wants?
Scarcity. Keep going.
What is the term for a tax system where the same percentage of tax is applied to everyone regardless of income?
Flat tax.
What economic theory suggests that individuals acting in their own self-interest can benefit society as a whole?
Invisible hand.
What term refers to the use of fiscal and monetary policy to stabilize the economy?
Economic stabilization.
What term describes the economic condition where total spending in an economy exceeds the economy's production of goods and services?
Overconsumption.
What term refers to a measure of how much a currency can buy within a country's economy?
Purchasing power. Congratulations! Move on to level 3. Come on.
Economy. Level 3. What economic term describes a situation where the quantity of goods demanded exceeds the quantity supplied at a specific price?
Shortage.
What term refers to the amount of money a company generates from its operations before subtracting expenses?
Revenue.
What term refers to a market structure where a small number of firms dominate the market for a specific product or service?
Oligopoly.
What is the term for the study of how individuals make decisions to allocate scarce resources in the face of unlimited wants?
Microeconomics.
What is the term for the cost incurred by a firm for each unit of a good that is produced?
Marginal cost. So far so good?
What term describes the ease with which an asset can be converted into cash quickly and without impacting its price?
Market liquidity.
What economic term describes a situation where two variables move in opposite directions?
Inverse relationship.
What is the term for the practice of a company dominating the market to the extent that it can set prices for its products or services?
Price setting power.
What term refers to the process of estimating the value of a property, asset, or company?
Valuation.
What is the term for a tax system where the tax rate decreases as the taxable amount increases?
Progressive taxation. Cheer up.
What term refers to a situation where the government's total expenditures exceed the revenue that it generates, typically resulting in borrowing?
Budget deficit.
What economic principle suggests that the government should regulate markets to prevent monopolies and ensure fair competition?
Antitrust policy.
What economic principle suggests that the cost of an item should be weighed against the benefit it will provide?
Cost-benefit analysis.
What is the term for a sustained and widespread decline in the value of money?
Hyperinflation.
What term refers to the period of economic expansion between the end of a recession and the beginning of a contraction?
Economic recovery. Keep going.
What is the term for the part of a country's economy that is tax-free and does not comply with government regulations?
Informal economy.
What economic term describes a market situation where prices are determined solely by supply and demand forces with no government intervention?
Free market.
What term refers to the total amount of money that a country's central bank or monetary authority can create or issue?
Monetary base.
What is the term for the financial measurement of a company's ability to cover its short-term obligations with its short-term assets?
Liquidity ratio.
What term refers to the difference between actual output and potential output in an economy?
Output gap. Congratulations! Move on to level 4. Come on.
Economy. Level 4. Which economic theory argues that government should not interfere with economic activities and markets will self-regulate through competition?
Laissez-faire economics.
What type of unemployment occurs when there is a mismatch between the skills of job seekers and the requirements of available jobs?
Structural unemployment.
What type of inflation results from an increase in the cost of production, leading to higher prices for goods and services?
Cost-push inflation.
What term describes the condition where the total income earned in an economy is not sufficient to purchase all the goods and services produced?
Income inequality.
What type of market structure is characterized by many firms selling differentiated products and facing relatively low barriers to entry?
Monopolistic competition. So far so good?
What economic term describes a measure of how much one economic variable responds to changes in another economic variable?
Correlation.
What is the term for a system where the government owns most of the factors of production and determines production levels and prices?
Command economy.
What economic theory suggests that tax cuts for the wealthy and corporations will trickle down to benefit poorer members of society?
Supply-side economics.
What economic principle suggests that markets tend towards equilibrium, where supply equals demand?
Market equilibrium.
Which economic principle suggests that individuals and firms make decisions based on maximizing their own self-interest?
Rational self-interest. Cheer up.
What term refers to a situation where a country exports more goods and services than it imports?
Trade surplus.
What term refers to the measure of the amount of labor required to produce a good or service?
Labor productivity.
What term refers to the costs incurred when changing from one supplier or customer to another?
Switching costs.
What is the term for the financial return made on an investment, usually expressed as a percentage of the initial investment?
Rate of return.
What is the term for the legal process used by a bankrupt person or business to relieve debt and obtain a fresh financial start?
Bankruptcy. Keep going.
What term refers to a period of sustained economic growth and high employment without significant inflationary pressure?
Economic boom.
What economic term describes the ability of an individual, firm, or country to produce a good or service at a lower opportunity cost than others?
Comparative advantage.
What economic term describes the level of output that maximizes profit, where marginal revenue equals marginal cost?
Profit maximization.
Which economic term refers to the total amount of goods and services available for purchase in an economy?
Aggregate supply.
Which economic theory suggests that government spending should be increased during economic downturns to stimulate demand?
Fiscal stimulus. Congratulations! Move on to level 5. Come on.
Economy. Level 5. Which economic term refers to the situation where the production of one good increases the production cost of another?
Negative externality.
What is the term for the condition where the price of an asset or market sector experiences a swift and severe decline?
Market crash.
What economic term refers to the total value of goods and services produced within a specific period, adjusted for inflation?
Real GDP.
Which economic term describes the process by which a country specializes in producing goods where it has a comparative advantage?
Specialization.
What economic principle suggests that as production increases, the cost of producing each additional unit decreases?
Economies of scale. So far so good?
What term refers to a situation where the price of a good or service increases due to a decrease in supply?
Supply shock.
What type of unemployment occurs due to seasonal variations in labor demand, such as in agriculture or tourism?
Seasonal unemployment.
What term refers to a financial measurement used to assess a company's ability to pay off its debts?
Debt-to-equity ratio.
What type of market failure occurs when goods or services are not efficiently distributed in the market, leading to overconsumption or underproduction?
Market inefficiency.
Which economic principle suggests that individuals and businesses make decisions based on maximizing their own utility or satisfaction?
Utility maximization. Cheer up.
Which economic term describes a sudden and severe drop in the value of a currency relative to other currencies or a standard?
Currency crisis.
What economic theory suggests that government intervention in markets can improve social welfare by correcting market failures?
Welfare economics.
What term refers to the economic condition where the unemployment rate is very low, and the economy is operating near full capacity?
Full employment.
Which economic principle suggests that as the price of a good or service increases, the quantity demanded decreases, and vice versa?
Law of demand.
Which economic indicator measures the total amount of goods and services consumed within an economy over a specific period?
Consumption of expenditure. Keep going.
What type of market failure occurs when individuals or firms do not consider the full costs or benefits of their actions, leading to inefficiencies?
Externalities.
What term refers to the process by which a company decides how to allocate its scarce resources to produce goods and services?
Resource allocation.
What economic principle suggests that as production increases, the cost of producing each additional unit increases?
Law of diminishing returns.
Which economic indicator measures the percentage change in employment levels over a specific period?
Employment growth rate.
What is the term for a situation where the government's spending equals its revenues collected through taxation?
Balanced budget. Congratulations! Move on to the next topic. Come on.